Hello. Hey, hi everyone. I
Hi.
hope you know.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing? Okay. So let's get started. Okay, so, did you guys get a chance to work on that? The UK bank?
Yeah, I have done that.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can share your screen. You can share your screen, and you can all show me what you have done. We can discuss on that first, and then we'll move ahead. Okay. So Deepa, you have made total
Yeah,
customer.
I have some questions as well. See this card, right?
No.
I want all these things to be static. So I was trying this format and edit interactions thing. If I click this, if I select anywhere else, it is not changing.
Mhm.
Similarly, I can do with other charts also. Click this, make this none.
Yes. So we have to do it individually for each chart.
Okay. Okay. And Amit, just correct me if I'm wrong. This drill through seems like confusing to me. See, if I have yet another page here, like here, if there is a result page of the dashboard, if I am making any drill through in this page, the result will be reflected in this page. Correct or no?
No, no. So drill through will be on this page. So basically,
No, you're
what?
filtering on this page, you are viewing the result on this page. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because I haven't finished the drill through. I have to do it by seeing those recordings. I need to do it. And yeah,
Mm, then you have made.
Amit, can you explain that drill through again? Because I'm also having that confusion.
yes, because while listening, it seems to be easy. While
Yeah,
doing,
by working, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, sure. I'll show you that once. I'll show that. Okay, so you have made customers by region.
no, I haven't completed it. This is not my finished dashboard. I was just doing all uh, possible analysis.
Okay.
Okay, and the thing is like this black in the slider, right? Slicer, sorry. It
Hmm.
doesn't seems to be good for me. I have tried all possible means. This black background I can't able to change.
So click on that. Click on
Here,
that.
yeah,
No. So you want to change that. So you go in the format.
okay,
So items.
okay. I've
So
changed,
over
yeah,
there is items. So you should be having this. Just come down.
I've changed
Uh,
this also, this outline.
hmm. So it would be item. Okay, just scroll it down. Oh, sorry, scroll up, scroll up. So you have items and you have. So it is just I think uh, font color you have used this. So it's
Yeah,
changing now. So
background, yeah.
right.
Sorry?
So you want to change the background the black color, huh?
Yes, even though I
So
have applied everything, background, if I unselect
change
this,
the
see,
see. Oh, one
see.
second. Yeah, this color of filter is not showing. Let me just do it. Just let me do it at my end.
Since it is only the format change, you can tell me tomorrow also. No issues for me.
It should be just a 1 second task. For this video file, okay. And
No,
so
I
apart
was.
from this, what is the other because this is one thing, and then So you have given this title also.
Yeah, I think I used this one, not the title one. I used the header option for this title.
So like now if I ask you, right? So now you have to give me, now you have made the charts. Now you have to give the inferences, right? Like what inferences you get from this, from all the analysis that you have done. So what would be that?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Your voice is low.
So I'm saying like as in the report once you have made it, right? So now what
Yeah.
are your, what are the key insights that you get from here that you can discuss that, okay, this is what we have got the analysis. Now this is something that
Okay.
we can understand about it.
Yeah, the first thing is like I'm just trying to pull the customer counts. Basically, first is
Mhm.
the overall customers by gender, and this is by region wise. This is the overall balance maintained by both, I mean, male and female in all the regions. Here I have segregated with job type and by gender. All those things I'm just showing in graphically. Here I made some analysis like for my thing, I did some analysis in the form of tables and these things. Everything I used to pull the count of customers by region, by job type, by gender, overall count. And here, yeah, this is by age. This is the overall, not by gender wise, and this is by gender wise. The count of people falling under this particular age range, I've used by gender wise, and this thing I use the time series data, which is the join date. I was just searching for both male and female, the balance range. Since I haven't finished my dashboard yet, I'm just doing. And this is my another question. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, since our data, right, it is having only for the year. If we didn't drill down, at first, will it show like this or this is technically wrong?
No, this is wrong. This is right basically. So because you just have data of 1 year, so that is why you're getting 1 month, right?
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, so a person can now drill it down, so he can go to the quarter level and the month level, and he can then see that analysis.
Yeah, then only I came to know like, okay, this particular data is having only for 1 year.
Mhm.
Okay, and one more thing, Amit, yesterday you was explaining by clicking on the data point, you can analyze further. So if I click the data point, right, see what insight is giving me here. So is it like a consolidated report for this particular quarter in these months?
So like, can you, like what you did was you clicked on that first,
Data point, yeah,
that was quarter, right? You clicked on quarter one. So now it
yes.
is showing you the 3 months of that particular quarter. That in that quarter one you have Jan, Feb, and March, so it shows you those
Okay.
3 months of that.
Okay. So my insight, I mean, this level of insight is correct then.
Huh. So you're just
Okay,
trying to
because
do a point.
I was totally confused, like clicking on the data point. See, simply dragging and dropping, we can able to see the charts. But getting more insights by clicking on the data type points seems felt like I'm not getting anything. So only I asked you.
Huh. So you just have to, if now you click on a month, it will show
Okay.
you the days of that, right? If you click on Jan or if you click on Feb, so it shows you whatever days of data you have of that video.
Okay. Yeah, the same thing I want to ask in this. And one more thing, Amit, sorry, I'm not taking, I believe I'm not taking long time. See, yeah, for this particular customer, right? Yeah, there is one data like only one. It is not the complete ID. See,
it just would have happened, you know. I mean, I might have. It
No,
is
no,
my
no,
mistake.
I'm not finding fault. If this is the case, what as a data analyst, what we need to do, because we can't change the data straight away.
Hmm.
Since it is coming from cloud or from the client, we don't have any access to change this data, and we shouldn't change also, right?
Right.
In
So
that
we can
case,
just
you
check
will
with
go
them.
back to your client and you'll get the new data source, or what would be the thing we
Now
need
you
to
can
do?
just check it out that okay, you can check with the client that okay, this customer ID looks very different from the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So are we sure on this or do we need to correct it? So if he says that we need to correct it, so what can
Okay.
happen is he might like if you will say that okay, you know, this is not one, it is like 1000001. Basically the same ID with just one and all the zeros and one over here. So what you will do is you will go in that CSV file, you will
Okay.
update it, you will
Okay.
update that number, and
Okay.
when you will come in the home tab, you can simply click on refresh.
Okay. You will be updating the data source.
Yes,
There
you
is
will
no
update.
option by updating the data straight away in this PBI.
We can do it, but that is not the best way.
Okay. Okay.
We
Okay.
will be talking on the transformation data over here.
Okay.
So over there I'll show you that how we change the values.
Okay, fine. Yeah, these are the things I have. I will complete my dashboard and I will add it in the classroom.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much everyone for waiting patiently. I'll just stop sharing my screen.
So I mean I will just show you that. Basically,
Should
see,
I?
I'm
Okay.
guys, and the filter that you are saying, so I am the same option that it is coming over there. So it's just a hovering color, it just shows right, shows this blue the color that I'm changing. So I think it was the same option. So you are in the slicer, so you have this option over here in the items, the background, right? So if I'm changing the background to yellow, so it becomes this, so whatever color I'm selecting.
Yeah, can you just click it? Yeah, why it is coming? It is showing this
So this
particular
is
button is
selection.
clicked.
This is
Okay.
selection. Like what is happening is like for example, when you make a normal filter, right? So when you make the normal filter like this,
Okay.
okay, so you make just a sec. So you when you make the selections, right? So how will I get to know that what I have selected? That is why that color is changing, right? So if I selected for office supplies, so I should get to know that, right? On that filter that I have selected office supplies now. So that is where that turns black. So otherwise, right now nothing is
Okay.
selected. If I click on technology now as a differentiation, that is, this is something selected
Okay.
on this
Okay.
filter, that is why it is getting colored.
Okay. Then I'll just turn off this show summary and I'll just change this background and I'll check because I have enabled both.
You might have selected all the things over here. You might not be selecting the values like this. Your values would be selected. That is why it is coming like that. So you
You'll
just
be holding control, right, for multiple select.
you have to press control.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Amit, can I share my screen once?
Sure.
So I have not put in the name of the bank and all that formatting is left. But the data analysis that I have done is over here is like the gender, the male and female customers I've divided and accordingly like different regions. So my basic customer base is in England with the maximum customers and total balance is the maximum over there. I mean, the share of balance out of the total balance is over there maximum. Apart from that, I have done like balance by age. So I feel that 34 age, that means this bank is following some policy, which is very good. I mean, which youth are finding very optimum for them. So, I mean, so basically it's like they should focus more on, I mean, they should try to grab more customers from old age, retirement age side. one more
Right.
point was there. And then apart from that, this is the region, gender, and the balance of the customers accordingly. So here we see that the female count is very less in Scotland. So maybe we should make some, we should try to give some referral policies or something like that, so that it reaches more customer, and accordingly that disparity can be resolved, something like that. Apart from that, in this page 2, I did this. So here I felt that the white collar job, they occupy the major section, maybe because they are like having a regular deposits in their bank for salary account. And this blue collar, this, maybe the labor class is not very much acquainted with this. They're not aware of this bank or something like that. So the female customers over there are very low. It's only 6% of the total customers that account over there. So maybe we should give more benefits to them, something like that, so that more market can be trapped over there. Yes, that's it. So
So this is good one. See, now just couple of feedbacks over here. So like the one, the gender is perfectly fine and balance is also. So in the balance, what you are showing, I just couldn't get it. You are saying region-wise count, the map that you have created.
mhm.
So if you hover on it, just can you hover on the bubble? So you are saying total count. So total count you are representing on bubble, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So bigger the bubble, higher the count.
Yeah.
And then you have put total balance in the tool.
Mhm. So maybe the customers may be rich over there and they might deposit more amount over there. Like people may have, it's a
No,
general.
because I can see it from here only. Because if you see over here, like in England, you have more number of people, right? There are more customers from England. So
Mhm.
definitely the balance will also be more, right? If there are 2,000 people, so 2,000 people will have stored more money. So that is why money is also coming as 53%. If you see
Mhm.
the bubble is smallest for the this one Ireland, I guess, yes, right? Ireland,
Mhm.
there are very few customers, only 211 customers, so that is why the balance is also on the lower side,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
see, one thing is that this age analysis that you have done,
Mhm.
technically you could have made a bin over here, right, where the histogram, like how
Yeah.
many customers do I have between the age of 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25
Mhm.
to 50. That would have been a better representation, because right now you this is also not wrong. The analysis will also come the same. So
Mhm.
because if the customer gets to, if the bank understands that okay, they have very less customers of uh, young age, like they have, so they can say that okay, if your age is lying between 15 to 30, we have this offer for you, right? 30 to
Mhm.
40, we have this offer for you. So that can help them in doing bucketing and those offers for them. So you
Yeah.
should try to make a bin chart over here.
Okay. So because with this chart we can say that maybe you should the bank should give some it should have a better loan policy or something like that, so that the students who are pursuing education, they can also have a bank account over there, and maybe some more retirement benefits, wherein, and like since old age people are more concerned about fixed payments, so something that gives them a proper like fixed percentage FD kind of things. So maybe it can increase like 0.1% apart. That's, and
Right, right.
like that is the prevailing rate. They can increase 0.1% or something like that, that can attract more old age people.
Correct. So these are things that we can add up on this to make it better. So we have actually shown balance by age. So this is also fine. I'm not saying this is wrong, but
Mhm.
we should have customer count also. That
Okay.
how many, so do we have more customers from young age or senior age or middle age?
Mhm. Okay.
And then you already have balance by, it's this chart that you have over here, balance and number of customers by region and gender.
Mhm.
So now this is actually, we can get this analysis from by clicking on the, by clicking by the interactions only. Like for example, if you will click on England, so this pie chart will change,
Mhm.
right? If you just do it, like just click on that England, so the pie chart
Mhm.
changes, right? And you can change the interaction to filter.
Mhm.
So you will get that okay, in England you have more females and less of males, right? Which is the same thing being represented by the bar chart also.
Yeah.
Right, so we can get certain insights from the interactions also. So for that we should we don't need to add chart as an additional, so that
Mhm.
because it's more like we have to leverage the benefits that Power BI offers of interactions and filters. So with with less uh, charts, we are able to display or give more information over there. So that is why we could have skipped this chart, and we could have and you could have placed that chart of the job classification over here.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah.
Anything else you like to ask? Otherwise, I mean, it's a good. The explanation was good, so that what we understand, so you were able to put that explain that way.
Mhm. Yes, that's about it. Thank you.
Can I share my screen, Amit?
Sure.
Lakshmi here.
Yeah.
Are you able to see?
Yes.
Yeah. Here, this is the total number of customers, and this is customers by region, and this the third chart is job classification, and this
Mhm.
is the customers by age. I take age as
You have made this right.
yeah,
So
five bins, like five bin size is 5, and also I have used bin size for balances 10,000 10K I mentioned there, and I used pie chart for gender. And my analysis is I took this customer by region as a filter. So if I click on England, I noticed that most of the people are white collar, most of the customers are from white collar jobs.
mhm,
And also they are between like 30 to 25, 30 to 40 range of age.
right.
And if I click on Scotland, most of the customers are male customers, and also there are very less white collar job customers, and also they are more mostly senior people, like 50 to 60 age group are there.
Right, right. So we see the yes. So
Yeah.
analysis completely changed. So age group and type of job the people are doing and the balance everything. So what do you interpret from the balance chart?
Balance chart is if I click on Scotland, most of the balances are below the 40,000
Hmm,
K.
right, right. So mostly people are
Even
keeping low
yeah,
balance,
yeah,
and as the balance is increasing, so we can see number of people are decreasing. So we can see there are very few people who are having more than 150K or more than 100K.
yes. That reflects in job classification also, because the blue collar and other jobs are more than white collar jobs. Maybe that reflects the balance. The
Right. Perfect.
where yeah, sorry.
But just this, so two charts are same, right? If you see over here, the first two charts are exactly the same, right? Total customers and total customers by region. So they are technically the same charts.
Oh, this
Over,
yeah,
so over you should have actually the expectation was to show the total count, that how many total customers that we have, like 4,016, that should be visible over here, not the breakup.
okay, okay, sure.
Yeah. So you can
Yeah,
change that, and just that this pie chart, if you see, is coming very small, very barely
yeah,
visible. So this has to be little appropriate. I mean, little big.
yeah. I can
So,
put this three in that total customers so that
yeah.
yeah,
So that is one thing. Otherwise, so this is exactly this balance. This is what I was exactly looking out for, like for the age and the balance that you have made. So just to understand how many customers have age as a young or a senior or a middle age, right?
yeah, yeah. In Northern Ireland, the most of people are female.
Yeah.
Uh, and age groups are between 25 to 30. So these are few interpretations. So I let me know if any feedbacks or any. I mean,
No, I mean it's good. I just found this one chart that was duplicate.
yeah,
Second, this
okay,
gender analysis that is very small, and apart from that, the things are good. Yeah. So you
uh,
have just missed the border. I think one. No,
I
and you can try to remove. So no, otherwise it's okay.
I can remove it here so that
No, you just change it now. Just don't remove it. See, just keep it this way only. Click on the chart. Click on this chart. Yeah, and go in the visualizations. Click on the visualizations. Just change it into a card. Just click on card. Yeah.
Okay.
So you get the total count.
Yes.
So you can
So
reduce, you can
yeah,
reduce the size this way, and you can just try. You can try to just place it.
yeah. And I don't find anything like in date, so I didn't include the date in that dashboard. Only thing I can see is most of the customers are in December, but I don't find it's, I mean, more point of analysis. So I put it in separate page.
So you're just saying that, okay, how many customers joined in which particular month.
Yeah,
So as such, you don't see, but what we can see over here is still, if you see that, because if we are having just 1 year of data, so I can assume
yeah,
that the bank was just started in that year, right? So that is why we just have 1 year of data. So I can say that, okay, as the time is growing, the
yeah,
number
people
of
are
customers who are joining the bank, they are increasing.
increasing. Yes, yeah,
There is an upward trend.
yeah. So
Perfect. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise everything is sorted in this. So nothing much more is needed. So formatting wise is also it's good, color schemes and the other thing that you have used. So they are totally in place. Right?
yeah,
And how did you change it into percentage? So I think did we talk about it? Percentage part. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's yeah. You told it's like here, like where
Hmm?
here
No,
values.
grand total.
So
Right?
yeah, percentage of totals.
So you just explode it, right? So you were able to find that out.
Yeah, I think you said somewhere. I don't know. I remember somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I thought like white collar jobs, if these should be showing as percentage is good. So I thought job classification and age and balances both three should be in percentages. So they took that as a percentage.
Hmm. Yep. Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I stop sharing?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Akshay. Okay. So probably now what we'll do is I'll share my screen. So what you want is first let me explain the drill through filter, right? So some of you have that confusion on that. So let me just explain you that. See, drill through filter is basically where what I want to do is I want to have a functionality of filtration where what I should be able to do is from one page I should be able to go on to another page. Okay, and the first page will act like a selection and the other page will act like where the filtration is going to happen, right? Like for example, if this is a page, so if you see over here there is page 2 and then there is page 3. Okay, so what I do is basically I want to add a functionality that if I select any category on page 1, right, I want that whatever category I select on page 1, I should be able to drill through based on that selection on the page 2. So I should be able to make that selection. Like for example, if I select the category as office supplies, so on the page 2 should show me only the analysis of office supplies. If I select on the page 1 furniture, so what should happen on the second page is it should show me only the furniture, all the data for furniture, right? So now how we do that is like I'm on page 2. So page 2 is where the filtration has to happen. So on the page 2, what I will do is I will put category in the drill through. Okay. So now if I go on the page 1, now I right click on this office supplies, it will give me drill through. So it is asking me, do you want to go on the page 2? Yes. So if I go to the page 2, it shows the data only of office supplies now. So data has got filtered. Okay. So now if I come back to the page 1, again if I right click on this on furniture and I say drill through to page 2, so I get the furniture over here. right? Now, if you come over here on the page 2 only, so I have right now added one filter, that is category. Suppose I add the state also. So what will now happen with the state is, if I'm over here, this is the map. So on which right now I have cities. So what I'll do is, if I go up, I have go at the state level. If I over here, I right click on South Dakota. I say drill through to page 2. Right now it shows the data of South Dakota only. Right, furniture, and you have now all these the categories and everything, and the data is for just the South Dakota. Correct. So if you come back over here, so if you click on any other state, again I say drill through page 2. So it is going to take me again whatever selection that I have made for that particular state, all the data. Now getting a little bit like how this drill through is helping us.
Yeah, clear now. The changes should not affect the page 1, right? Everything will be on page 2. Selection only happens in page 1.
Selection on after the page 1 and everything changes on the page 2.
Okay, getting it. Yeah, thank you.
And you can also do the same thing like on the page 3. Suppose I add page 3 state on the page 3 also. So now what will happen is, if I right click on the state, it is going to ask me on which page do you want to drill through. Now I have added that state on 2 of the pages, page 2 also, page 3 also. So if I say page 3, it is going to take me to the page 3 with that selection filtration, right? So if you have added the drill through on multiple pages, it will give you the options to select the page as well, like which page do you want to filter on. Okay. So I get page 2 and 3.
Amit, that don't summarize option, right? Yesterday you showed for that table chart. Is that working only for that chart or everywhere?
No, only for that chart.
Only for
So if you
table
go
chart, right?
with the particular chart where you have dragged that field. So like if you come over here, so see now these charts that you have, now these are something which work. I mean, these show the aggregations only, right? Technology.
Yeah.
The bar chart is always shows you the aggregation.
Yeah,
You
even
will
for
find
age
that-
also, right? So that's what I'm asking.
Sorry.
Age also it's getting as a sum. So
Date.
no age.
Age. Yes. By default, it will
Yeah.
submit. See what happens is when you put something in the values, right? So when you put something on the values, it gets added up. So in the values, if you want, you don't want to summarize that. So over there, you have that option, don't summarize. I mean, not in every chart, but yes, like in the table, if you create it, right? If you make a small table over here. So in the table, if you add age, so by default, what it will do is it is going to add that data. Oh, sorry, I don't have age in this, sorry. So if you like, if I bring sales also, by default, it is going to sum it because it's a numerical data. But if now over here you don't want to sum it, you want to show it individually. So you say don't summarize, now all the different sales values will come out.
Is there any other option for don't summarize it in other charts?
Like what exactly do we want?
Age actually in one of my charts, if I put the age
Like
by customer ID or something like that, it's showing as in some actually.
so like now if you see if I'm making this bar chart. Now again, sales, it will be coming as, if you come over here. So see right now, if I make this bar chart, see what is going to happen now is again, see, because in Axis what happened is we have to put some the categorical data, right? So now again, if you see, it is not showing me anything on this. So you just click over here, don't summarize. So this is one way. And now if you bring the count, so you can do it. So let's bring the profit and the values. Right, so I can see the chart now. For each sales value, now I can see that value. So it's not summarized. See, basically, when you drag something on the axis, any which ways it is not, it will not be summarized. Getting it? So like if I make a bar chart over here and I say that I don't want to, I put sales over here on this, or I put profit on this now, for example. If I put profit, now this profit will not be summarized. It will be don't summarize only. Now if I want to see something over here, count of order or something like that, and if I bring that in the values, the order ID that I have, so you will be able to see it, that there are a lot of orders where the profit was 3.63, right? So if you see, profit has now not been summarized. So chart to chart, it will, you will be able to figure it out that where the summary is happening, where it is not.
Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay. So now what we will do today is basically this chart that this report that we have been creating, right? So we have seen a lot of features and functionalities in terms of grouping and making visualizations, all those things. So now what we will be doing over here is, in this Power BI now, we have the features where what we can do is we can do the transformation of the data as well. So, you can all open this file only for now. That is the Power BI file that we were using previously, the first file. So now I will talk about something called as data transformation, right? So data transformation is basically, if you see over here, that option of transform data. Now over here, Power BI will show you the capability that you can, do a lot of transformations as well on the data that we have. So if you click on transform data and click on transform data again, so what it happens is it is going to open a Power Query editor. It opens a new interface for you, which is called as query editor, where we can do all the transformations on the data. So all, please just try it and open this window. Okay. So now this is called as query editor, right? This window that opens up quick, this is called as query editor. And this query editor is available in the Excel also, right? You have the same window in Excel also, where you can open it as. Now with the help of query editor, what you can do is you can do lots and lots of transformations, right? You can transform your data, right? The data that you have received, you want to do some modifications in that. This is what you do from here. So now what I'll do is, first of all, I'll give you a little bit of an overview of this. So on the left hand side, you will get to see the name of that sheet that you have loaded, right? That is orders. This is the name of the data set that we have loaded. On the right hand side, you will see some query settings, which I'll just explain you what query settings are. And in the middle, you have all the data that was loaded. So you can see the data over here. See, now you know what happens is Power BI actually captures the step for each and everything that you do when it comes to the data part. Okay. So how did we start the journey in the Power BI? How did I start it was, first of all, I selected my source, right? So what was my source?
Excel file.
Excel file, right? So in the source, it has saved that file path. So if I'll show you, this is the file. So Power BI has saved that source path, that this is the file that we from where the data is coming. After that source, after I connected to, after I selected that Excel file, what did I do next part? If you all remember, we selected that order sheet, right? That was the second step. Like in Excel, where there were 3 sheets, so I said I want to get the data only from the one sheet, that is orders. So what we did was we selected that order sheet, that was navigation. So in navigation, what Power BI did was Power BI loaded the data from that order sheet that we selected. Okay. Then when the data got loaded over here, Power BI automatically, see at the first go, Power BI brought all that data from that Excel sheet into its domain. Then the next step was promoted headers. As in Power BI understood that this first row is not data, it is a header. So this was the third step that was applied by Power BI. It defined and promoted the headers by its own. And then the next thing that Power BI did was Power BI read initial 1,000 rows. It reads first 1,000 rows and it identifies the data type. That what type of data do you have in each column, right? So that was the next step. That was this. So when it comes to change type, so what Power BI did, Power BI assigned the data type to each of the column. If you see the first column is 1, 2, 3, that means it is numeric number. It's written ABC, that means it is character. It's written there is a date symbol, that means it is date type. So the data types are defined over here in the Power BI automatically. If you think one of the data type is wrong, you want to change it, you just click on this icon and you can change it from here. Right? You can change the data type from here very easily. So if you suppose you want to convert this 1, 2, 3 into a text, you simply click on this text. So it asks you now, do you want to add a new step or do you want to replace the current? See, I told you for each and everything, Power BI is maintaining the step. So I'm saying in the current step only, let's replace it. So see, the number gets converted into text now. 1, 2, 3 are coming in the form of a text. Okay.
Amit, I have a question. Like, although this doesn't happen frequently, but if the company adds its logo on the first row of, say, Excel sheet, and then we source it, I mean, then we want to make a BI report, something like that. So if we import it from there, so will it be able to identify the second row as the header?
No, so not every day. So we have to transform that. So we will have to clean that data. So which is what we will be doing also right now. So what I will be doing is we will be loading the data over here, and the file will be this. So if you see now, in this the header is coming over here. There are a lot of missing values and blank rows and some this data word is coming in the center. So what will happen now is Power BI will not be able to identify that this is the header. So we will have to do a cleansing on it, right? So we will clean and we will let Power BI know that where the header is, so that data comes in a proper shape.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So by default, technically the data should always start from the row 1.
Mhm.
And if it is not starting, see if there are blank rows, right? If there are a lot of blank rows, in this scenario, still Power BI can understand that okay, these are blank and this is where the header will be. It will be able to identify it. But if suppose some logos, pictures, or something like that comes in the center, then you have to manually instruct that, because then Power BI will not be able to understand where the data is starting. It only reads it from the first row, whatever it gets, and it starts identifying whatever it can. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. So as I said, right, for any transformation that you will do, right now, there's this window that I'm showing you over here. This is just for the data transformation. You will modify your data if you want. So like, for example, you will see now at the top, a lot of options coming over here. Suppose you want to remove some rows. So you can click on the rows, and if you say remove top rows, so if you say remove 10, so it is going to remove top 10 rows. See, it gives you a message, remove top rows. Okay, the top 10 rows are removed. If you uncheck, if you delete that step, so that data will be back, right? So if you say, if you come remove rows, you want to remove bottom rows. From the last, you want to remove 100 rows. So you click on OK, you will see Power BI adds a step that there are 100 rows that are, there are 100 rows that are deleted from the bottom. So those 100 rows from the last are deleted. But if you want that data back, you just remove that step. When you remove that step, that it is like undo, that you have undone that thing, because you can't press Control Z or something like this over here.
Is it active until we close our session, or if I saved this file after applying these changes, can I still undo this?
Now
Remove.
we can do it after, yes, we can do it. So
Okay.
later on also, if you feel that, see, these
Uh-huh.
are transformations. Okay, so what we are doing, what we are talking over here is that data that we had. So all that changes that we want, we are trying to do them over here. So if later on also, if I want to transfer, if I feel I want to make some more transformations, I can add the steps. If I want something that I did now is not required, I can remove the step. So all those things are possible.
Okay.
Now, the reason what we have to understand over here is that why these steps are applied, right? So what happened is, suppose I apply a step over here, remove top 100 rows, right? So what will happen is, like when you refresh the data. So when you refresh your data, what Power BI is going to do is it is just going to refer to these steps. So first of all, it will say, okay, what is the source? It will go in that Excel. Then it understands, okay, what is the navigation? It says that, okay, from the order sheet, it has to pull all the data. Then it will assign the headers. It will assign the data types, and then it will remove the top 1000, top 100 rows. So these steps are just meant for that purpose only. That when you refresh the data, so data will in the after the refresh, all these things will be applied on that data set, so that you don't have to keep on doing the same thing again and again.
And if you want to remove any row from the middle, say only row number 18.
You can't do that. You can't remove a specific row.
Okay.
So that feature is not there, right? So as such, you can't remove a specific row. You can filter something if you want, right? Suppose if you say that you do not want, so like in the row number 18, if you come row number 18, you say that this is the order ID. So you can say that, okay, this particular order ID you don't want to show it. So you deselect any of the order ID that will not be visible over here. Now you cannot delete it. As such, you cannot go and say specifically that I want to delete that row. In removing the rows, you have some options, and these are the limited ones. You can either remove top rows, bottom rows, alternate rows, right? So you can remove alternate rows also. So you want to say that you want to remove the first row to remove, you say 18th row, right? Then how many number of rows you want to delete? Then you say one over here, right? So you have to define a pattern over here, that what kind of rows do you want to remove over here, right? So you click on this OK now. So number of rows to keep. So now I say one. So what it will do is, from the 18th row it will start that, okay, one row it removes and one row it keeps. Then one row it deletes, then one row it keeps. So that is how this alternate pattern is going to work now, removing alternate rows.
Because I was wondering if the HR department has to use this, and like if few employees resign, so I don't want
Uh,
to show their data and I want to just remove it from this report. So I was just wondering, is there a way out?
so you will remove it in that Excel file itself,
File, yeah, but every time, I mean, every day something will happen. So you have to do
because
that file again, right?
so from, see, transformation, you will have to do that manually in the Power BI also, because
Mhm.
if you will do it also, either you do it over here or you do it in the main source. So in the main source, you just remove the data from there and you just click on refresh, and data will be updated.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You want to remove duplicate data, so we have the option of remove duplicates also. Sometimes it happens some blank rows come, right? The complete row is blank. You want to remove that complete blank row, you can remove that, right? Similarly, you have some errors, suppose in some data, in some rows you have some errors. You want to delete the data with errors, you can do that. You have the option to remove the columns also, right? You want to delete any column that you don't need. Suppose I don't need order ID. So you can just say remove this column. So this column will be deleted. Okay, this column now is deleted. So you can remove rows, you can, like removing columns is just a couple of options. You want to do the sorting of the data, A to Z, Z to A, so you can do that, right? Just a sorting of this data. Split to column is like you want to break the column, right? Like for example, you have order ID. You say you want to split this order ID into, like, wherever the hyphen is coming, you want to split it. So you will just split by delimiter. So you can split this data over here. So you will see the data gets splitted. After every that hyphen, the data got split into a different column. Okay. You have replace values, right? For example, I have the category of consumer. If I select over here, I want to replace consumer with, modern consumer. So I can say replace values, and I want to replace consumer with modern consumer. I click on OK. So you will now notice the replace has happened.
We need to give the exact.
Sorry.
No, in that replace, right? You need to give the exact value. Is it like case sensitive?
So it's not case sensitive. You can just put the other values also. It will take that up. So you have the advanced options also. You can select those things that you want to match the entire contents and replace, but otherwise it will work. So like for example, now we have modern consumer. So if I write modern consumer to consumer, right? Yeah, it's case sensitive. I mean, it's case sensitive. So you just write that sensitivity has to be correct. So you just make it like this: modern and consumer to consumer. Just the case sensitivity is there.
What is the name of that command? I mean, the language you're typing in the formula
This
bar.
is called as mQuery.
mQuery, okay.
Yeah.
Do we need to learn all these things? Seems
No,
to be
no.
we
This
can
this
start it.
mQuery will not be learned. No. So mQuery, this is something that Power BI is automatically writing by itself.
Okay.
So I'm just making minor tweaks over there. So it's quite self-explanatory. If we see that I want to apply a step of replace values,
Okay.
I want to replace this with this value. So that is why I just made a change. Otherwise, I would have to click on this and I would have to write that step all over again. So just I made a change in that one.
Okay. And one more thing, Amit, in the remove rows you showed, right? How many number of rows to remove? I just tried that. It is affecting the entire data set till the last row.
So you select top one or bottom?
No, top.
So it will remove the first 100 rows.
No, I gave like 18th row. Number of rows to remove is 1. Alternate rows 2. So from 18th row, it is removing 18th and keeping 2 rows again. So it is affecting the entire data set from the
Entire,
18th.
yes, yes,
Okay,
entire
okay.
data set.
Okay. Getting it.
See, technically, alternate rows, top rows, this is very rarely that you use anywhere. I mean, top you will be using a lot, right? Bottom you will be using a lot, but alternate is very rare that you will use. Duplicate is something that we use a lot. errors, blanks, but alternate I've rarely seen, right, the use case of that,
Okay.
where we had to delete just the alternate ones. Okay. So now, if I'll come over here, so I just given you some glimpse on it, right? So like choose column, keep rows, remove rows, sorting, splitting the column, right? I hope all these options are clear up till here. Any option that you feel is not clear, right? Replace values. Okay. So what you do is, if you make any change, right, after making some transformations in the query editor, you actually have to click over here, close and apply. So what you do is basically all the changes are kind of replicated in this Power BI. Now all the changes are getting applied over here. So you see that all the transformations that you have done, they get replicated and they will also be reflected in the charts. Everywhere in the charts also the same thing will be replicated. So you will see if you have removed some rows, columns, based on that if the numbers are changing, the numbers will also change based on that. You see, I deleted some data. So the data is now 2.28 million, right? So profit has changed. So those changes are affected in the entire report. So if you click on the transform data again, you want to go back into this window. Then again, if you want to make some changes, you can start doing that. So now the next thing that I will show you over here is the next action that we will discuss is, let me do one thing for that. I actually removed one of the column. Let me just remove that step. So like if I come back to this window, if you want to undo something, you can do that. So you want to delete a step, let me delete this. And this row ID, let me change it into number over here. So now what I will do is over here, there's an option called as append queries. Now this append queries is one option that it will be very useful because this is something that you will be using when you have, like when you get the data in multiple sheets, right? Many times it happens that when you are working in some company, so there will be multiple teams over there, right? There will be team one, team two, right? So team one will send you some data, team two will send you some another data, team three is going to send you some another data. So what we want to do is we want to append that data one below the another so that we can have one single file, right? Like for example, I am saying on day one, so I hired 5 employees, right? Their ID and the name is given to me. ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and their name was A, B, C, and D and E. This is the data of these. These are the people that I hired on day one. Then on day two, I got other data in which I had the ID as 6, 7, 8, 9. And their name was suppose F, G, H, and I. Now I am having two different files, right? I have two different files with me in which I have ID and the names. So what I want to do is definitely if I have to do some analysis, so if I will keep the data in two different files, it will get tough for me, right? To analyze the data will get tough for me. So what I would like to have is that I would like to keep all the data into one file so that I have ID and the name, all the IDs and names, they are coming into one single file. So this is something that is called as the append. Append means putting data into one single data set, into one single table that is one below the another, right? So this is called as appending. Like in terms of SQL, if you use it, what is this in terms of SQL?
Unions.
All right, guys. So you already said so this is like unions, right? And it is union all. So over here, this is union all that is going to happen. Okay. So it doesn't remove duplicate data after combining it. So you have to delete it by yourself by using remove duplicates. Now there is a slight difference between the union that you get in SQL and over here. See, in SQL, what happens is when you use union, it puts one column below the column one, column two below the column two, and column three below the column three. We just have to make sure that the data type should be same. But in Power BI, what happen is when you do this append, your column names should be same. Power BI is going to append the data column by column. ID will come below ID, name will come below name. That is how this append is going to happen, right? It is going to match the column name. So if your column names are different, you will actually get multiple columns in that case. Suppose I am saying in data set 1, this was employee name, and over here it was name, right? The two table have different column names now. So if you now append these two data in the output, you will get ID, employee name, and name. So your data will look like this. You will have this. ID will come below ID, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will come over here, but this over here will come like this. So this will get null. And over here, this will get null. So this is what is going to happen if your column names are different, right? So only thing in the append that you have to take care of is that the column name should be same. Am I clear on this?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what I'll do is let me just share this file with you. Okay, let me just share this sample super new region file. Just give me a second. Okay. So I've sent one file over the chat. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this. So come back to the Power BI in the query editor. right? Right? You all have received the file. So what we'll do now is this file that I've shared with you. This is a file that I was showing to you, which had some issues in it, right? So what we will do now is you have to come over here in your query. You can load the data from here also. If you click on new source and you will click on Excel, right? So you will be able to load the data from here as well. So just do it. All of you, please load the data. Order sheet. And see over here itself, you will see that the data that you're going to load is not going to come in the good shape. The data is not going to come in the good shape. So click on OK and just load it. Are you all able to do it? Right. Okay. So now what you do is, if you see our data is not coming in a proper shape, so I can see that blank null rows coming, header is coming over here. So what I will do is I will actually rectify my data by myself. So I know that I need to remove first two rows. So I will say remove top rows because this is bad data. So I am saying remove two rows from the top. They are gone. So right, top rows removed. Then what we do is these headers are right now not correct. So Power BI gives you the option of use first row as header. So if you click on this, I am now telling Power BI that this first row that we have, this is actually a header. So I click on this and my headers are defined and data type is also defined automatically. So you can see now I was able to make some quick cleansing to my data with these options.
For me, it's different.
Huh?
Yeah, for me, it's okay. Okay. I clicked use headers as first row. Okay. No, there are two options, right? Use first row as headers. I clicked the second one. What is the difference between those two? Yeah.
So this is like, if you are saying this header, you are saying this header should not be a header, this should be a part of a data.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's the opposite of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it takes that into data now. Okay. Now what I want to do is now I have two data sets, orders and orders two. Let's call this, the data that we have loaded right now, let's call it as new region. So I'm going to rename it as new region. Okay. So I just called it as new region now. So what I do now over here is I would like to append these two data sets, right? I want to append these two data sets. So this is where you will find the option of append queries. So in the append queries, you will find two options, right? Append queries and append queries as new. The difference between the two is, see, when you say append query means that you have two tables, right? So I am saying I want to bring the data of table 2 below table 1. That in the existing table only, I want to combine the data. And append queries as new means that you will be creating all together a new table. There will be a new table that will be created in which you will have the data of all the employees. Right? So that is what the difference is between append queries and append queries as new. Okay. So you have append queries and append queries as new. So basically, if you say append query, So if I say this order is selected and I say over here append queries, what will happen in this case is data of new region will be loaded below orders, but definitely I will say append queries as new. So when you say append queries as new, a new table will be created. So I am saying I want to combine two tables. One is orders and another is new region. And there you go. The data is appended. So the two tables are now coming one below the another. So please try this. Okay, after you make a change, so you can click on apply, so that changes could be put into effect. Okay, now I hope you are able to do it right. For all of it is working fine, and you can see that how many columns. So if you see, in the append, if you will now notice there is small trouble that has just happened. See, in the orders there were 22 columns. In new region there were 21. In the append you are getting 23. So there is something that has happened over here. Let's check it out. See, order ID is coming over here, which is this. And one is order ID 1. Okay. See, what has happened over here is, if you remember right, I made a small transformation in orders. I split the data. Let me just remove that. So a number of columns were not same because when I split the data, so it just made two columns over there, due to which I got, now it is coming fine, right? 21 to 21. Now it's fine. I hope you were able to understand it what I did, right? This order ID, because I had split it, so it was coming into two columns. But in the new region data, the order ID is coming only in single table, right? That single column. It was all combined. So I made two columns in that existing data. So that is why in one of the data set I had one additional column. So I just took care of that, so that order IDs doesn't get messed up over there. So I have undone that feature of splitting the columns. And like all the concept of joins that we studied, so we will be exploring that also. Merge queries. In the merge queries, we have the option of the joining the applying the joins between the data, right? So we will be exploring that as well. So I think this is where I'll take stop for today. So you can just close and apply these changes and save this file, right? So just save the file with all the changes that you have applied. And yes, you can ask if for the last 5-7 minutes, you can ask any questions if you have.
Amit, if the location of my data source file, right, if it gets changed, is there any option I can change here, or will it throw an error for me?
So I mean, if you will try to see, if you will refresh the data, then you will get an error, right? And otherwise also it will keep giving you the warning that the file is not located over there. So you will have to change the path. And how you can change the path, I'll just show you.
Okay. But the data, it is not the updated one. I'll just get the warning. You mean to say that?
So like for example, if you change the file path, see what happens is, if you go in the transform data, right?
Okay.
So under the source, it is expecting that the file is placed at this path. But if suppose at that path the file is not available, so it just gives you that message that the file is not available in this path. Maybe you have changed its path, right? And if you will try to refresh it, refresh will not happen. Refresh will give you an error that the data file didn't found, right? Because it couldn't find the data file, so refresh will definitely not happen. So you can change the path from here. You will say click on browse, and whichever path you want to change. Suppose if I go, so right now if you will see the path is Ericsson sample superstore, right? If I go on the browse and I say I have to pick the data from here, right? Sample superstore over this file, I can change that, right? So if I now click on OK, the path will be changed.
Okay, this is
So
where I
now,
can browse and in the source step. Okay.
and then all these steps, if you will now click on apply, all these changes will be applied on it. Data will be loaded, sorted, filtered, everything will be done on that. Okay, so see, everything is now replicated. I can see the same thing, and then I can close this window. Or other option of doing the same thing is from here also. If you click on transform data, you can click on data source settings. You can change that path from here as well, right? So I have two files with me. If you feel that one of the file you need to change the source, click on this, and you can change the source from here, right? So this option is available from here also. So changing, the only thing that we have to make sure is that if you are changing the path, the file name can be different, but inside the data, the header names, they should not be different.
Okay. Okay. Even though if there is different name with same data, it will work still.
It will work, yes.
Okay. And one last question is, like, people used to say both data source and data set, right? Data source is from where you are pulling the file. Is that right? Data set is the exact data, or
See, data source is basically the type of source, right? Like for example, if you are bringing the data from Excel, so data source is Excel. And in that Excel, you have that sheet that you have that workbook that you are using, that Superstore file and sheet name. So similarly, your source can be SQL Server. Now in that SQL Server, you will have a database and a table. So that is called as a data set. And source is SQL Server. And data set is that SQL table that you will be using.
Okay, got it. Got it. Here the source is Excel and the order sheet is the data set we are working.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. So let's connect now next week. And yep, that's it. So I'll try to put some the again one practice assignment over the weekend.
So the completed work we have to upload in the Google Classroom.
On the Google Classroom, yes.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, and please also try to improvise this. So you sample superstore also, you have a big data set. Now since you all are getting the good idea on the visualizations and features, try to make good sophisticated report on this superstore data itself, because it's a big data set. You have 10,000 rows, 21 columns. So there are lots of analysis that you can do from here. So try to make some report, a complete report on that data set as well. Okay. Okay then. Thanks everyone. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.